Well, this is a national shame. More than 28 lakh students of CBSE of both class 10th and 12th are left in a lurch after an alleged paper leak. How can the CBSE exam paper leak and who is responsible for it? In fact, the Prime Minister, who spoke to the students before the examination asking them to be fearless exam warriors, has now in fact spoken to the HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar to take action against the exam mafia.
It's possibly India's biggest exam scandal. The Central Board of Secondary Education will hold Class 10 Mathematics and Class 12 Economics exams again. This comes after a question paper leak, the magnitude of which is yet to be known. The CBSE dropped the bombshell even as students were coming out of exam centres. For many, this was the last day of exams, but their happiness relief was short-lived, and many happy faces turned glum in no time. They are angry and have reasons to be.
There is a sense of distrust among the people of the 10th because what if the paper leaks again?
I think this step was necessary because the people who have worked all year long for this paper and the people who got the paper one night before who cheated, so they would have gotten a seat where other people should have gotten a seat, so I think it's fair.
This year, over 16 lakh students had registered for the Class 10 board exam and another 11 lakh for Class 12. Over 28 lakh students from across the country are affected. The scam was unearthed when investigating officials found handwritten copies of the question papers. Authorities suspect that some bank and school staff in Delhi could be behind the question paper leak. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whose interaction with students before the exams had made headlines, has himself stepped in, asking HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar to get to the root of the problem. The government is now working on encryption system to keep the question papers secret, and centers will get the papers only 30 minutes before the exam.
CBSE ने तय किया है कि सोमवार से जो परीक्षा होगी वहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा नई सुरक्षा व्यवस्था के साथ पेपर्स छात्रों को मिलेंगे ताकि लीक होने की संभावना ही नहीं रहेगी.
The crime branch of Delhi police is conducting raids in the entire NCR region in connection with the case. A special investigation team headed by Joint Commissioner of Police and 2 DCPs are investigating the matter. 2 cases of forgery have been registered so far. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, students as well as parents from across the nation have expressed their anger and disbelief over the retest.
जैसे अभी पेपर अगर अच्छा हुआ था तो नेक्स्ट वाला अच्छा होगा कि नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये जो मार्क्स है हमारे को कॉलेज के लिए चाहिए. अब पता नहीं परसेंटेज अगर इससे डाउन चली गई तो.
It's the first time I've been going through this, so this is quite a challenge which I faced because it's not generally which I've been going through for 9 years.
ऐसा नहीं है कि ये पहले लीक नहीं हुए हैं, पहले भी 2006 में भी हुए थे, उसके बाद भी हुए, और तब भी उन्होंने बोला था कि थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट करेंगे.
लीक जो है कि जहाँ पे लीक हुआ है उधर ही सबको सफ़र करना है, हम क्यों सफ़र करें? ये तो इनजस्टिस है ना. अब हम जो है हमारा जब पेपर ख़त्म हुआ हम एकदम टेंशन फ्री हो गए, कुछ अब कुछ करना नहीं है, तो एक एक्स्ट्रा बर्डन आ गया हमारे सर पे.
I think it's not fair for the students who have studied hard for it. But yeah, it's another opportunity for us to score well. So let's see what happens.
Yes, obviously. Who else? How did it leak? There has to be a loophole. Somebody from the organization is responsible for it. No doubt about it.
एक तो इतनी मेहनत करके उन्होंने वो चीज़ अपनी फिनिश की थी, अब फिर से उनको इसके कारण उसकी इंजीनियरिंग और फ्यूचर भी सफ़र कर सकता है. तो वी आर वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड, और खासकर CBSE जैसी रेपुटेड और इतनी बड़ी संस्था, आई एम नेवर बिलीव इट.
पर प्रेशर तो आ ही गया है डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि उसको 2 एग्ज़ाम और देने हैं, अभी उसके 2 बाकी हैं और उसको फिर से देना पड़ेगा. तो ये एक तरीके से अच्छा भी है, बट बच्चों के लिए इससे प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है.
All right, this is our topic of debate today on the burning question, and the big question that we are asking here at India Today: CBSE leak. Is it just the tip of the cheating iceberg? And why is the cheating mafia getting a free run? Why is it that all these things have a rerun and then the authorities wake up? Is cheating institutionalized in India? Did CBSE turn a blind eye towards the paper leak? Should students pay for authorities' incompetence? Is the big question that we are asking here on India Today. Joining me now, Jyoti Gupta, Educationist, Senior Principal, DPS Ghaziabad School. M. Srinivas, an educationist, is also joining us on the broadcast. Harmeet Shah and Ursa Jafar, these are parents of students who gave class 12th and class 10th exam respectively, extremely worried about the future of their wards, are also with us on the broadcast. And let me start with you, in fact, Harmeet and Ursa. Ursa, your child, if I'm not mistaken, has given the class 10th exam, mathematics at that. Most students are extremely anxious about the maths exam. And now they have to prepare, you have to prepare them mentally as well to retake this test.
जी वो एग्ज़ाम दे के आने के बाद ही पता चल गया थोड़ी देर में कि पेपर लीक हो गया, तो ही बिकम सो स्ट्रेस कि फिर से पेपर देना पड़ेगा, टेंशन फिर से हो गई, फिर से तैयारी करनी पड़ेगी। और बहुत खुश थे कि अब फ्री हो जाएंगे, कहीं जाएंगे, इतने दिनों से मेहनत कर रहे थे, कहीं भी नहीं जा रहे थे, दोबारा से फिर से तैयारी करनी पड़ेगी।
I mean, it's very sad what the students have to go through. And Harmeet, your daughter, I believe, has to reappear for the class 12th economics exam. She must also be preparing or already thinking of what she needs to do after +2. Now the process that she has been involved in the last 2 months starts for her again.
Ankit, this is absolutely a big nightmare for children. You know, my daughter couldn't sleep all night, and we were all depressed, and she came home so happy after taking her economics exam, and now now they see this situation unfolding. This is absolutely big torture for all children. They are prepared hard all through the year, and now this situation has unfolded. Why should they be put to test for someone else's mistakes, for someone else's crime, if there is any, and suddenly you see a HRD minister appearing on TV and telling the students, aap adhyan kijiye, shanti se adhyan kijiye. What is this shanti and what is this adhyan? They have to prepare for their university entrance now, and that's all gone up in the air, and this is not done. This is not acceptable to any parent.
Stay on with me, Harmeet and Ursa. Let me, at this point of time, also try and get a perspective from Jyoti Gupta. Students from your school, ma'am, they must have been preparing very hard. It's not only the hard work of the students, but also the parents and educationists like you that goes into this board examination. Already there is so much pressure on students of class 10th and 12th, as far as the board examination is concerned. This is a huge setback for them.
It's extremely painful for the entire system, whether it is students or it is parents or it is CBSE, because we prepare for the examinations not right now but since a long time. It takes months to prepare for the examination. So what has happened is extremely painful, but at the same time, if the exams are not taken again in the wake of or in the light of the papers being leaked, then it is not fair on the children who have given the exam in all fairness, and there are others who knew the paper already. So anyways, a re-exam conduction becomes mandatory there. I agree, it is very, very painful because the children, when they gave the maths exam, it was their last exam, and now they have to give the exam again. They will have to write the exam again, and every day is not the same day. For class 12th, there are IIT exams which are coming up. They have to write for that. They have to write the some of the entrances. So the dates might clash, or there might be less time for that. But again, we can't blame the CBSE for it, because their system is very robust. It is a safe system, but the technology today that is playing.
No, but
the leaks are happening because
somewhere,
of technology.
ma'am. I mean, I'm sorry. I get your point, but I differ with you on that. Ultimately, the buck has to stop with the CBSE. They are the responsible agency for this examination. And Mr. M. Srinivasan, do you think CBSE cannot be blamed for this? Because ultimately, till the time the examination goes without any hitch, that's the job and responsibility of the CBSE. If there were chinks in the armor, if the technology is catching up fast, even the agency, even the CBSE should have worked and caught up with what is happening as far as the cheating mafia is concerned.
Actually, CBSE will be in full knowledge of what happens around, and they would have prepared. They have to do a little bit of planning to avoid or to circumvent these things. There's no way of punishing the whole country because something happens in one particular place. If there was a system by which they could contain the infection within a limited space, I think this would have been a very small problem. So obviously, if something happens in Delhi or Ghaziabad or in Mumbai, it should not affect the country. And these are all peacetime preparations. We can't prepare for it after something happens.
That's right.
We could have definitely planned to contain the effect or...
Harmeet, if I can come to you, the HRD minister, we are hearing reports the Prime Minister is extremely angry. The HRD minister is promising that it won't happen again. He's saying that robust system is being put in place. This could have been done earlier so that, your children, your daughter could have been spared the agony of going through the examination once again.
Ankit, CBSE is not a newborn baby. It's not born yesterday, and I am 44 years old. I took CBSE examinations, so you can imagine how old CBSE is. So to say that, we can exonerate CBSE from this mess, I think it shouldn't be done at all. CBSE, as you rightly mentioned, the buck stops at the CBSE, number one. Number two, why there are always knee-jerk reactions to such situations? I don't understand one thing. Is the CBSE being beaten by Digital India, or is Digital India being outsmarted by a handful of thugs? So has the CBSE not been able to keep pace with the evolving technology? If it hasn't, that is a really poor reflection on our education system overall, and this should have been fixed much before than taking a knee-jerk reaction and punishing the entire student fraternity for that.
उर्सा जी, अगर मैं आपसे जान सकूं, अब क्या आप बता रही हैं अपने बच्चे को, उसको दोबारा से मैथ्स का एग्जाम देना पड़ेगा? जैसे आप कह रही थी सारे प्लान्स जो थे बाहर जाने के, घूमने के, एग्जाम स्ट्रेस से बाहर निकलने के, अब वो सब दोबारा से उसको करना पड़ेगा। आप क्या अब किस तरीके से उसको मदद कर रही हैं, किस तरीके से उसको कॉन्फिडेंस दे रही हैं?
हाँ, उसको कन्विंस करना पड़ रहा है कि एक बार फिर से, अभी इतनी मेहनत की थी, फिर नहीं करोगे तो मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आएंगे और आपको आगे भी दिक्कत होगी, एडमिशन लेने में, स्ट्रीम मिलने में भी दिक्कत होगी। तो आपको करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा आपको मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी। अब 1-2 दिन रेस्ट कर लो, फिर उसके बाद फिर से रिवाइज कर लो, नहीं तो बच्चे भूल जाते हैं फिर।
जी, मिस गुप्ता,
बस यही कह रही हूँ उसको कि
Yeah, Ms. Gupta, what I wanted to understand from you is also the fact that this is not the first time a leak of this sort of happened. The only troubling part is that we keep hearing about these institutionalized cheating or papers being leaked from Bihar board, from UP board, from West Bengal, from other places. When it comes to CBI, it was regarded as a very robust system of examination. Do we now fear that the entire examination system in India now is standing at a verge where most of our students or most of our examination systems are compromised?
I wouldn't say that, because the way the CBSE operates, they are extremely careful about how they've put the entire system into place. But if there is a gang who has decided that they are going to leak the papers. That is at play right now, but I'm sure that in the coming times, even that will be taken care of. Now, it's not the system. It's in the morning, if there is some gang which is actually taking out the papers and is using the social media in order to disseminate or give the information, that has to be taken care of. So CBSE has already issued instructions that the papers cannot be opened before a particular time. The papers cannot be, there is no devices or gadgets that are allowed in the exam centers. They have already taken this. But again, I will say, you are right, the CBSE, the buck stops at CBSE. They need to be a little more careful with the technology at play, and the technology is the answer to technology.
That's right.
We will have to somehow see that the technology that we are using is to save the system is better than the technology that is used by the gangs.
Absolutely, and the preventive technology has to be one step ahead of how people can compromise it. And Mr. Srinivasan, don't you think that at this point of time, at least the moral responsibility, the chairman should take the moral responsibility, step down, because ultimately you also have to send across a message that this sort of a thing is extremely serious, as in the case of any other institution. Isn't that the primary first thing that they should do, and then of course go into investigation?
I think you are very correct in saying that it is the kind of bona fide of the chairman to resign or not to resign, but we have to look at the crisis, and we have to look at what we can do with the children, and we have to see that gang is punished, and the system should be able to prevent anything of this kind. So just crying out saying the chairman should resign or the minister should resign doesn't help us in the future. We have to come out with a technology by which this is just not possible, and it is possible to do something like that.
You know, and for the record, I would like to place this for our viewers. In fact, that we did try continuously, repeatedly to get in touch with the CBSE chairperson, also his office. They refused not only to take our question, but also to give us a comment on where they stand as far as this entire issue is concerned. Harmeet, you know, yesterday we were discussing this, and you said that this for students, because this is now a global education system, a lot of students from India go to US, go to Canada, go to UK to study. In that sense, now India and the education system would be looked with some sort of a suspicion of what has happened. It will put the future plans for a lot of students, you know, passing +2 in jeopardy.
Yes, totally right, totally right. I said it yesterday and I maintain this, saying that, you know, now students have to prepare for global education, international education. They have to go to the US, to Canada, to the UK for their future careers. Now, if these negative stories around Indian education system float around like the way they have been, you have, you know, all kinds of cheating mafias. You saw people scaling the walls for mass cheating, and now this mess has happened. So this really is jeopardizes their career. What will people say there? Look, they have come from a country which cannot handle its basic education systems, where where examination papers are leaked, where retests are held, where mass cheating happens, and it's a routine. So this is, in fact, I mean, it should have been taken care of when such stories erupted first. Look, one more thing is here, that smartphones were not invented yesterday. They were not invented yesterday. They have been there for a decade now. So to say that, you know, even to say that just because of smartphones, just because of WhatsApp, CBSE has been beaten, will again be naive. There are bigger issues at play here, and they should have been taken care of much longer, much before than now.
I request all of you to stay on with me, and also with the help of this graphic, I would just like to very quickly tell our viewers of the loopholes. What were the loopholes that have been exploited by the cheating mafia as far as the class 10th and 12th examination for maths and economic go? Now, very quickly, 4 questions papers were set for each subject. That's a standard operating procedure. CBSE sets 4 sets of papers for every subject. Now, 1 paper each for Delhi, rest for India. Expat schools and a reserve set is also put in place for every examination, for every subject. Now, the reserve paper used for is in fact used for leaking the information or other issues. So if there is a paper that has been leaked, the reverse paper comes into place, and then of course that is used if there is any knowledge of that happening before the examination takes place. Now, set of 4 papers are same, but the question sequence is usually different. So that is why you may get set A, B, C, but the sequence of the questions are different. Each zone gets 3 sets of question papers from the CBSE. So this is prior knowledge. Every zone gets 3 sets of question papers. All zones are given single question paper against the norms. In fact, the CBSE this time gave a single question paper against the norms, and that possibly also helped in this entire cheating scandal. Now, I have to take a very quick break. Once I come back, rather than the blame game, let me try and understand also from our parents and the educators there what of course can be done so that this can be prevented, and how now we can help the students, those who are already under a lot of pressure as far as the board examination are concerned. A short break, coming back, stay tuned.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.